A gloomy day as gray clouds blanket the Salt Lake City skies here in Week 3 as the 0-2 Flyers try to bounce back from a rough start, while the 0-2 Rams come in looking to do the same, and Thomas Dishman prepared to let those Twitter fingers fly. Rams opening drive, 3rd and 10 at their own 44. Jared Goff looking to throw and gets great protection before loading up and throwing deep downfield, but Deron Smith is there to pick it off at the goal line. He's tackled in the end zone for a touchback, but the Salt Lake City Flyers get the early turnover, and Thomas Dishman says, today is the day. Today is the day we take over the NFL. But on 3rd and 2 for the Flyers, Logan Woodside play fakes and throws over the middle, but is well off the mark, and Thomas Dishman says, what the f***? We ain't taking over with throws like that. Rams across midfield and on the edge of field goal range. We're on 3rd and 3. Goff fakes to Todd Gurley and is flattened by Ricky Hatley for the sack, and the Flyer defense steps up again, forcing a Rams punt. So Flyers turn again where Woodside fakes the run and looks to throw, but the only thing he sees is the fumble animation of doom, and the Rams recover, taking right back over in Flyer territory, and they would waste little time as on 2nd down the give goes to Todd Gurley, who goes inside, outside, and upfield as he takes it inside the 10 before turning around and running over every Flyer he can to set up 1st and goal. And 2 plays later, Gurley caps off the drive by playing peekaboo. I'm gonna run over you right into the end zone for the 1-yard score, and the Rams able to strike first blood and take the early 7-0 lead. Flyers at midfield now and facing a 3rd and 8 where Woodside connects with Akeem Hunt, who pushes forward but is just shy of the marker. Dishman keeps his offense on the field and gives it right back to Hunt, who's destroyed in the backfield and doesn't get the first. Dishman says, I should have kicked it. 2nd quarter now, and the Rams offense finding its rhythm as Goff fakes and fires to Brandon Cooks for 16 yards to the Flyer 20. 3 plays later, 3rd and 9, and Goff is going to find Robert Woods for 14 more as the catch takes Los Angeles inside the 10. And on the next play, Goff throwing again, and it's Robert Woods again for the 5-yard score, and the Rams add to their lead, making it 14-0 here in the 2nd quarter. Flyers trying to fight back, and the give goes to Akeem Hunt, who has a big hole and takes it for 17 yards near midfield. Next play, Woodside throwing, gets good protection and fires to Bug Howard for 15 yards and another 1st down. Then on 2nd 19, Woodside throwing again and floats up one of the single ugliest passes you'll ever see in real life or Madden. Nickel Roby Coleman picks it off, and for the 3rd week in a row, nothing going right for the Flyers as the Rams take back over. And the Flyers defense, finally fed up with playing semi-decent, says to the offense, you know what, we can look like too, as Goff finds Brandon Cooks, who enters the matrix with one spin move and somehow evades half the Flyer defense and is off to the races and on his way to a 75-yard touchdown, and the Rams push their first half lead to 21-0 as Thomas Dishman nearly keels over in disgust. So how do the Flyers respond? Well, they respond exactly like a 50 overall team would, which is by Woodside throwing it right to the defense for his 2nd pick of the quarter. Thomas Dishman says, do you have a brain in that big skull, you stupid piece of shit? Rams looking to score again, and on 2nd and 4, Gurley takes it up the middle and into the secondary where he bowls through Deron Smith on his way to setting up 1st and goal. And on 3rd and goal from the inch line, the Flyer defense emphatically says, we are not the problem, as DeMontre Moore forces the fumble and Frank Ginda comes flying in to recover, and Salt Lake City able to keep Rams points off the board, and the Los Angeles lead stays at 21. But then Logan Woodside says, good job defense, but it would be a shame if someone were to give it right back to the other team. LaMarcus Joyner picks it off and brings it back inside the 20, and the Flyer turnover leads to a Rams field goal, and they head into half with a 24-0 lead. To the 3rd quarter now, and what Thomas Dishman referred to during the week as the turd quarter, because all we do is play like and you see more of that here as Todd Gurley spins his way through the secondary, and 83 yards later, he's going to find himself in the end zone, and the Rams with full control in this one take a 31-0 lead. Flyers across midfield with Austin Allen in at quarterback now, and he's going to find Braden Bowman over the middle for 16 yards to convert. Then on 3rd and 10, Allen throwing again and goes back to a diving Bowman, who lets the ball sit on his belly without any effort to actually try and catch it, and is eventually ruled incomplete. Dishman sends out Nick Rhodes, who is good on the 50-yard field goal, and the Flyers are on the board. But the Rams and Gurley come right back as he takes it up the middle and inside the 15 before leaving a trail of Flyer destruction in his wake on his way to a 29-yard score, and the Rams extend their lead to 35. After exchanging possessions, the Flyers come back with Akeem Hunt, who picks up the 1st down before being imploded and fumbling. Flyers do recover, and on 2nd and 17, Allen looking to throw and finds a crossing Jalen Marshall, who turns upfield and picks up 23 yards and the first down, dragging tacklers near midfield. 2 plays later, and it's Akram Wadley taking it right up the middle for 16 yards and another Flyer first down. Then on 3rd and 2, the give goes to Akeem Hunt, who gets absolutely nothing to bring up 4th down. And to start the 4th quarter, Nick Rose is good from 39 yards. And watch out, the Flyers are right back in this one as they make it 38-6. But the Rams able to drive right back down the field, and on 1st and goal, Goff runs around and finds a wide open Brandon Cooks for the 9-yard touchdown, and the Rams lead extends to 45-6. Ensuing drive, Flyers faced with a 3rd and 5, and Austin Allen says, "I wonder what throwing an interception feels like," and finds out as Corey Littleton picks him off, and the Rams take right back over. And on 3rd and 1, Todd Gurley takes the carry up the middle, runs through a tackler, and says, "Real player motion my ass," and picks up 20 yards to set a new NFL single-game rushing record. And the Rams cap off the drive with another touchdown pass as Goff finds Tyler Higbee for the 8-yard pitch and catch, and the Rams cross the 50-point mark, further pushing this one out of reach. Higbee does this stupid f***ing dance, and I refuse to end the highlights on that. So back to the Flyer offense, where Austin Allen has them showing signs of life as he finds Bug Howard over the middle for 22 yards right to midfield. 2 plays later, Allen throwing again behind good protection, which allows him to drop one right on the money to tight end Braden Bowman, who I'm not sure was actually tackled, and the Flyers rally is on. And on the next play, Akeem Hunt takes the carry 11 yards and into the end zone for the score as the Flyers are able to get back within 40. Sean McVay still traumatized by only scoring 3 points in the Super Bowl. Nick Rose comes out for the extra point, and when you sign kickers from the AAF, you get what you pay for, and he misses by about 40 yards, and the Rams able to eke this one out by a score of 52-12. Jared Goff only throws for 248 yards but has 4 touchdown passes, while Todd Gurley was the star of the day with a new NFL record of 334 yards rushing, and he also adds 3 scores on the ground. Akeem Hunt goes for over 100 yards of his own, and Austin Allen comes in for Logan Woodside and leads the Flyers to a touchdown and was named the starter for the following game by Thomas Dishman, who seemed less than pleased in his usual post-game tweet. Motherfucking shit. Fuck. So on to San Francisco, the Flyers go, where we've got these guys coming out of the tunnel to face those guys coming out of that tunnel, and this guy who seems pretty happy, and this guy who seems like a real asshole as he tries to eavesdrop, and then karate kicks down an invisible door. Austin Allen, the 3rd new starter in just 4 weeks, leads the Salt Lake City offense into battle, and he would start on a positive note as he throws a horrible pass that Jalen Marshall goes back in time to catch for 19 yards and a first down. Then faced with 3rd and 28, looking to throw again, and he steps up and delivers to Braden Bowman, who pushes his way across the marker for a first down. But the Flyers drive stalls, and on 3rd and 19, Allen tries to step up and run, but is tripped up, and Salt Lake City has to punt. 49ers opening drive, and Jimmy Garoppolo finds a crossing George Kittle, who will be tracked down but stumbles forward for 20 yards and picks up 38 into Flyer territory. Thomas Dishman says, "What the f*** was that?" Later in the drive, 49ers facing a 3rd and 5 where Garoppolo throws quick to Jerick McKinnon, who picks up 11 to move the chains. Then on 1st and goal from the 5, the give goes to Matt Breida, who breaks a tackle and walks in, and just like it's been every week so far, the Flyers fall behind early, and the 5-yard score gives the 49ers a 7-0 lead. Later in the 1st, and the Flyers look to get even as Akeem Hunt takes the carry and is going to pick up 16 on the first play of the drive. Next play, and it's Hunt again through a gigantic hole and into the secondary, where he picks up 31 yards before he's brought down in San Francisco territory. Later in the drive, Flyers facing a 3rd and 18, and Allen throws out to Braden Bowman, who does nothing as the pass sails incomplete. Thomas Dishman not a fan of the lack of effort and says, "What the f***, bro?" And as Nick Rose lines up for the kick, we pause to introduce a new feature to the channel in the form of the blocked kick counter, but it looks a little empty, so let's catch things up, shall we? And back to the action where you guessed it, the kick is blocked, and the 49ers recover and take over at their own 36, keeping Flyer points off the board. Second quarter now, Flyers again with the ball, but on 3rd and 2, Davion Smith gets hit by a 300-pound rocket named Ed Oliver, who was taken with the Cardinals' first overall pick, sent to San Francisco after their relegation, and the Flyers have to punt. Then 2 plays into the 49ers drive, Garoppolo throwing, but Joel Lanning cuts under the pass and picks it off, and he brings it back to the 49ers 24, and the turnover gives the Flyers an excellent scoring opportunity. Thomas Dishman says, "No, I won't cut you yet, buddy. Get over here," and good job. Flyers then facing a 3rd and 1 where Davion Smith does get the first down, this time picking up 2. 3 plays later, 3rd and inches, Akeem Hunt takes it up the middle, fumbles, but center Demetrius Rainey picks it up, takes to the skies, and plows his way to a 1st and goal. And on the next play, the toss goes to Davion Smith, who walks into the end zone for the score and says, "I'm the captain now. No wait, yeet. No wait, I'm motherfucking Superman." And the Flyers have a chance to take their first lead of the season. But on the 2-point conversion, Austin Allen tries to complete the pass to the goalpost stanchion and misses his tight end, so no lead for the Flyers, and they continue to trail 7-6. Ensuing drive, and the 49ers come firing back as McKinnon takes the give, squeezes through the line, and jukes his way to 12 yards on a 49er first down. Then on 3rd and 7, Garoppolo looking to throw and finds Dante Pettis over the middle, who takes it well into Flyer territory for 25 yards. Thomas Dishman says, "Cut whoever the was supposed to cover that guy." 2 plays later, Garoppolo throwing again, and good protection allows him to find Marquise Goodwin for 17 more and another San Francisco first down. Then on 3rd and 10, Flyers looking for a stop, but Garoppolo stands in and finds a wide open Pierre Garçon for the 14-yard touchdown catch, and the 49ers add another score and take a 14-6 lead, while Garçon says, "I got your salt right here, bitches." Flyers want points before half, and out of the 2-minute warning, Austin Allen steps up and to his right before floating for Braden Bowman, who makes the catch and picks up 28 yards near midfield for the first down. Bowman gets up and says, "That's the Flyers' first down." Yes, you heard that right. The Flyers got a first down. Later in the drive, 3rd and 9, where Allen goes short to Bowman for 4 yards, and the Flyers will have to kick a field goal. And for the second time in the half, the kick is blocked. 49ers dive on it and take over at their own 39 with 28 seconds to go in the half. 16 seconds left now, and the give goes to McKinnon, who breaks the tackle and picks up 11 yards to the Flyers 32. 49ers with no timeouts and get the spike off with 2 seconds left. Robbie Gould comes out and puts it through, so what could have been 3 for the Flyers instead turns into 3 for the Niners, and the Flyers head into half down by 11. Then to start the 3rd quarter, the Flyers continue to get the into the stick as Jerick McKinnon has a gaping hole and breaks 1 tackle, sending him on an express delivery to the Flyer end zone for the 75-yard touchdown. And as quickly as the Flyers could have cut this one to 5 is as quickly as they've fallen behind by 18. But some consolation is on the extra point. Deuce Douglas gets on the kick block board as the Jaron Elliott block keeps the Flyer deficit at 17. 49ers again with the ball, but on 3rd and 5, Pierre Garçon not able to hold on to the pass, and the 49ers have to punt. Flyers across midfield facing a 3rd and 5 where Austin Allen finds Jalen Marshall over the middle for 12 and a first down. Then on 2nd and 4, it's Akeem Hunt picking up the first. Flag comes out, and a face mask sends the Flyers to the 49ers 7-yard line and makes it 1st and goal. And on 2nd and goal, Allen throwing and finds a wide open Jalen Marshall for his first score of the year, and the Flyers able to pull within 11 and make it 9 as Allen finds Bug Howard on the quick throw, and the Flyers convert the 2-point conversion. Ensuing drive, 3rd and 8, and Garoppolo and the 49ers punch right back with a 42-yard bomb to Marquise Goodwin to the Flyers' 31-yard line. Later in the drive, and McKinnon sets up the 49ers 1st and goal with a 13-yard run down to the 3, where 3 plays later, McKinnon caps off the drive by running through Carl Bradford for the score, and the 49ers push their lead to 29-14 and keep their offense on the field, where Garoppolo fires out to George Kittle. The 49ers convert the 2 and make it a 3-score game, pushing their lead back to 17. And then 2 plays into the ensuing drive, Salt Lake City puts the final nail in their own coffin as Jalen Marshall fumbles. The 49ers recover, taking over deep in Flyer territory. And on 3rd and 5 from the 10, the Garoppolo to Goodwin slant results in a 10-yard touchdown as the 49ers push their lead to 24 and pretty much put this one out of reach. Flyers not giving up and going for it on 4th and 4 from midfield. Allen breaks away from 1 sack, tries to evade another, but nowhere to go, and the 49ers take right back over. Flyers able to get a stop, and on the 49ers field goal attempt, it's almost another block kick, but Robbie Gould gets it off, and the 55-yard attempt is no good, and the Flyers get the ball back near midfield. Flyers in Niner territory now, and on 3rd and 7, Allen fires a rocket into Bug Howard for 21 yards on a first down, and facing another 3rd and 7, Allen has DeMaurier Stringfellow wide open for the score, but overthrows him incomplete. Thomas Dishman says, "I need a fucking quarterback." Nick Rose comes out, and the 35-yard attempt isn't blocked and is up and good, cutting the fourth quarter deficit to 21. Flyers back with the ball and again in Niner territory, and look at this as Jalen Marshall makes the catch and is up the sideline inside the 20 to the 15, 10, 5, and in for the score. No, mark down inside the 1. Jalen Marshall gets up and says, "You're a bitch." Thomas Dishman throws the challenge flag, and even though replays appear to show Marshall breaking the plane before his knee is down, the call on the field stands. But it wouldn't matter as 3 plays later, Akeem Hunt blasts his way into the end zone for the score and a season-high 23 points. Flyers test the block kick Buddha, and he decides he will allow an extra point to go through, but the Flyers would not get any closer and fall 38-24 to San Francisco. And after giving up 334 yards on the ground to Todd Gurley last game, they give up another $195 to Jerick McKinnon today. Austin Allen looks promising in his first start, going 21 of 37 for 264 yards and a score. Akeem Hunt adds another 100-yard game to his resume, but block kicks were the story of the game, and Thomas Dishman had some choice words for them in his post-game tweet. Fought hard, which is all I can really ask for since none of these AAF rejects is capable of winning. Also, enough is enough. I have had it with these motherfucking block kicks on this motherfucking game. And along those lines, we're ready for the feature presentation as the Flyers and Seahawks meet up again, this time in Salt Lake City after the Seahawks won 35-20 in Seattle in Week 2. Flyers hoping to avenge that loss and pick up their first win in franchise history. Opening drive, Seahawks with 3rd and 10 near midfield. Wilson throwing, but it's knocked away by Edmund Robinson, and the Flyers force an early punt. So turn it over to that Flyer offense, where on 3rd and 11, Austin Allen finds Braden Bowman for 13 to move the sticks. Later in the drive, Flyers on the edge of field goal range. Allen throwing again and fires, but nobody home, and it falls incomplete. Dishman sends out Nick Rose, but into a strong wind. The kick is up, and like the Rockin' Skyscraper, it doesn't quite have the leg, and the Flyers fall just short of taking their first lead of the season. Later in the first, Seahawks lead 3-0. Flyers across midfield, but not for long, as Austin Allen throws it right to KJ Wright for the interception. He brings it back near midfield, and the Seahawks offense takes over. But on 3rd and 3 from the 14, the Flyer defense steps up again as Zach Sanchez gets his hand in there to knock away the pass from Seahawks receiver Doug Baldwin and bring up 4th down, where rookie Alan Tepper is good from 31, and the Seahawks lead 6-0 to end the first quarter. Middle of the second quarter, Seahawks now up 9-0, and the Flyers move the chains on a 3rd and 8, 11-yard pass from Allen to Akeem Hunt. Flyers across midfield now and facing 3rd and 11, where Austin Allen steps up and fires to Bug Howard, who makes the catch and picks up 22 yards to the Seattle 23. 2 plays later, and bad news for Salt Lake City as Allen looks to throw, steps up and scrambles to his right, but would end up pulling his groin on the 12-yard run and be out for the game. 2 plays later, the give goes to Akeem Hunt, who has a big hole and takes it right to the goal line, where he's hit sticked, and the ball comes out because of course it does. Seattle recovers because of course they do, and the Flyers once again watch points disappear right in front of their eyes. Salt Lake City gets it back with 7 seconds left in the half, and Logan Woodside steps up and fires to a diving DeMaurier Stringfellow, who hangs on to the catch. Flyers call timeout and send out Nick Rose, who has the wind at his back this time, and from 64 yards, you've got to be fucking kidding me, it bounces off the crossbar and is no good, and the score remains 9-0 as we head into the break. Flyers looking to start the second half strong, and they would, as Woodside steps up and delivers to Dontez Bird for 21 yards across midfield. Next play, and it's double the pleasure and double the fun as Woodside goes back to Bird, this time for 33 yards, as he takes it down inside the 10 to set up 1st and goal. And on the following play, Akeem Hunt takes the carry and holds onto the ball, this time all the way into the end zone for the 9-yard 14-yard score, and the Flyers come firing right out of the gate, scoring just 2 minutes and 34 seconds into the third. Flyers go for two and go back to Hunt, who powers his way into the end zone, and just like that, it's a 9-8 game, and the Flyers find themselves right in the thick of things here in the third quarter. Thomas Dishman tries to be humble, but says, that, I'm the greatest coach of all time. Seahawks come back with a drive of their own, and on 3rd and 5 from the 20, keep it alive with a Wilson to Adam Humphries 14-yard pass to set up 1st and goal, where 2 plays later, they cap off that drive with a 6-yard touchdown from Wilson to Nick Vannett, and the Seahawks' first touchdown of the game looks to give them an 8-point lead. But on the extra point, it's CPU on CPU crime as the AI-controlled David Rivers comes off the edge to block the kick, and the Seahawks lead doesn't go to 8 and remains at 7. Pete Carroll says, we're the only ones that are supposed to get that. Seahawks get the ball right back, and it's Wilson again to a wide-open Nick Vannett. One Flyer misses a hit stick, one Flyer misses a dive, and Vannett rumbles down the sideline on his way to a 41-yard catch into Salt Lake City territory. 3 plays later, 3rd and 7, Wilson looking to throw and has a lane to run and takes off up the middle, picking up the first down, gets hit, and the ball comes out, and the Flyers refuse to die as they recover the fumble, and they're the ones keeping points off the board this time and take over at their own 25. But 3 plays later, 3rd and 7, and the Flyers only get 6 on the Woodside to Stringfellow completion, which brings up 4th down. Flyers set to punt it away, and you know the easiest way to avoid a block punt? You fake that motherfucker, and Joe Carriage gets just enough for the first down. Thomas Dishman says, I'm the greatest coach of all time, baby. But 3 plays later, the Akeem Hunt carry is blown up by a heat-seeking Bobby Wagner missile, and this time the Flyers do have to punt it away. Flyers get the Seahawks to 3rd down, but Wilson dances around behind the line before moving to his left and deciding to scramble, spins, and finds the open field, picking up 22 yards before slipping out of bounds. And just over a minute later, it's Chris Carson taking the give off the left side, gets the edge and is up the sideline, avoids a tackle, and scores from 36 yards out. And the Salt Lake City crowd is silenced as the Seahawks lead goes from 7 to 14 here in the 4th quarter. Flyers go 3 and out, giving it back to Seattle, but on their first play, Wilson throwing steps up and fires over the middle, but Edmund Robinson is right there to pick it off, and he brings this one back to the Seattle 22, and just like that, Salt Lake City in a position to get right back into this one. But just when you thought Deuce Douglas might be a decent player, he goes and does some stupid like this and totally redeems himself. Bobby Wagner with the interception, and Seattle takes right back over. Then on the following play, Wilson throws and tries to go deep for Doug Baldwin, but it's intercepted again, this time by Quincy Mauger, and the Flyers take right back over at the Seattle 26. Mauger gets up and says, did you see that, coach? I got you a turnover. Let's go. I'm still gonna cut your what the you say to me, coach? I was just kidding, Quincy, and fist me. First play for the Flyers, Woodside throwing and drifting back in the pocket, unloads just as pressure arrives, and it's a diving DeMaurier Stringfellow with the 18-yard catch to set up 1st and goal. Where on the next play, Akeem Hunt takes the give, finds a lane, and takes it in from 8 yards out, and with 7:40 left in the game, the Flyers have cut it back to 7. Seahawks already in Flyer territory, though, and on 1st down, it's Wilson connecting with Doug Baldwin for 17 yards to the Flyer 27, but 3 plays later, the Flyers hold as Wilson goes back to Baldwin for only 1 yard when they needed 7. Alan Tepper comes out and knocks through his 4th field goal of the game, and with 4:52 to go, Seattle takes a 2-score lead. Flyers come fighting back, though, and on 2nd and 10, Woodside goes deep for Jalen Marshall, and Shaquille Griffin, you got mossed, and the 25-yard catch puts the Flyers at the Seattle 41. 3 plays later, Woodside throwing and again going deep for Marshall, but this time it's nearly intercepted by Shaquille Griffin, bringing up 4th down, and Nick Rose was just short from 64 before half, but this time he only kicks it 1 yard because it's another fucking block kick. Flyers dive on it, but Seattle takes over as Rose cries on the field, Mommy, I want to go home. But 3 plays later, Russell Wilson doing everything in his power to throw this game away as he's picked off again, this time by Marquez White, and the Flyers get another chance. And on their first play, Woodside looking to throw, steps up and launches one deep for Jalen Marshall, who's behind the defense for 44 yards to the Seattle 23. Then out of the 2-minute warning, Woodside throwing again and somehow avoids a sack, gets free, and scrambles, carrying Shaquem Griffin for 9 yards down to the Seattle 14. 2 plays later, 3rd and inches, Woodside throwing, steps up, and he's going to take off again, and he wants the touchdown, dives for the pylon, but is knocked out of bounds, and this mother says roll the clock. Woodside thinks he scored, but the Flyers have to get back to the line, and the give goes to Akeem Hunt, and he does get into the end zone. So with 1:06 to go, the Flyers cut it to 4 and are lining up to go for 2. And on the 2-point conversion, it's Hunt again blasting his way into the end zone, and the Flyers are in a position to win this game, but they need their defense to get a stop. But unfortunately, that stop would not come as Chris Carson picks up the first down. Thomas Dishman calls timeout, but Pete Carroll says it's over, bitch. And the Flyers fight and fight and fight, but come up short in this one. Kicker Nick Rose misses one field goal just short, has another bounce off the crossbar, no good, and then has his final attempt blocked, and the Flyers fall to 0-5 as they head into their bye week. Russell Wilson, the nice guy that he is, throws 3 interceptions to the Flyers defense and was the target of Thomas Dishman's post-game tweet. Count your blessings, Seattle, at Danger Russ Wilson. Listen here, you little can't ride a roller coaster baby back, bitch. I've taken shits bigger than you. Come up to me again with that good game, coach, pansy shit, and I swear on my holographic Charizard, you will catch these hands. All right, guys, so that's going to do it. We do not survive the NFC West Gauntlet and lose all 3 games, but we're getting there. We are definitely getting there. We'll probably continue to mix in some of those 55-3 and 52-12 games, and now that confidence is starting to negatively kick in, it might be all downhill from here, but we're headed into the bye, so maybe a chance to reset and come out strong in the second half of the season. Hope you guys enjoyed the commentary, tweets with Thomas, and highlights, and hope you guys are enjoying this series thus far. It's been a lot of fun to make. More to come here and with the Riverhogs franchise as well, so stay tuned for that. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and until next time, thanks for watching.